What's up, everybody? Yeah, let's keep that applause going. We are here at Wonderville on Thursday night, third Thursday. Wouldn't have it any other way. We are here for... Check. Oh yeah, we're back. Let's give it up one more time. We're here for WordHack. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Todd Anderson, and if this is your first time here at WordHack, I can tell you a little bit about it. I'm seeing this is like an all-time record for seeing people I haven't seen in 2.5 years, all in one room. A lot of familiar faces. Really good to see a lot of you, but seen some new faces as well. If this is your first time with us, so happy to have you. WordHack is a monthly show that's dedicated to exploring the intersection of language and technology, digital art, games, writers exploring experimental ways technology can create new types of writing, people writing papers, people analyzing language, people making experimental software, all kinds of things. We really try and welcome all sorts of people from all sorts of backgrounds working with language in different ways. We've got a really exciting lineup for you this evening. As I typed out a little bit, we've got Nick Montfort, we've got Sam Levine, we've got Thierry Kananaruk. Give it up for our featured presenters. And these are all returning WordHack favorites. We are celebrating 8 years of pseudo-monthly shows. Mostly, we got a lot of months. We missed some months, but we really got a lot of the months. So really happy to be celebrating 8 years of doing these shows with you all. Is getting a sound here? Is that sound? Am I doing something wrong? Okay, I'm coming in clear. That's great. Maybe it just sounds weird up here. There's a sound. There's a hum. Is it me? Am I the hum? Uh, all right. I have made Carl aware of the hum. Not much more I can do while I'm on the microphone other than power on forward. We also have a proud tradition here at WordHack, which is the open projector. My background is in poetry. I first came to New York in, 2010, and didn't know anyone. And the only way I got to know people was by putting my name on a piece of paper at slam poetry open mics and reading my bad poem, and then having some other people say, like, hey, that wasn't so bad. It was. But then you get to talk to those people about the ways in which you were bad, and maybe they're trying to improve in similar ways to you. And then you get to know some people and have a beer and talk to someone, and then you grow together over time. And that's what our artistic community is made of. And I've kind of found that that's not something I see as often in digital-oriented spaces and digital inflected spaces. So, yeah, I don't know. You got some cables. You got to plug a thing into a thing. It's hard to plug into a thing into a thing sometimes. But we at WordHack and at Wanderville, we like to plug a thing into a thing, and we like to support you plugging a thing into a thing. Let's give it up for our tech guy, Carl. Carl's going to be running AV for the show this evening. Thank you so much, Carl. Appreciate you. But yeah, we have an open projector here, which is just 5 minutes to come up and share something on the projector for everybody. See, we've got a couple names on the list. I talked to someone who I think is named Kyle at the start of the show who wanted to email me slides. Last time I checked, I don't think I got slides from you. So, what? You did it. Okay. I'm going to check for those. I'm going to call someone else first and then download your slides in the background. Kyle, you're coming in the future. But let's give a warm welcome to someone starting off the open projector. Feels right. Someone who was there at the very first WordHack 8 years ago. Let's give it up for Artemio. It's wonderful Wi-Fi, and we play games.
Wonderful Wi-Fi, we play games.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, we play games, all lowercase.
Hey everyone, it's so awesome to see like this full room of WordHack folks. Like it's so awesome to be here. It's been like so long. Anyway, really happy to be here, and I'm going to be showing some stuff as soon as my Wi-Fi connects. All right, so just going to do a quick little introduction. So I'm going to be talking to you right now about the WordPress interactive fiction engine. So how many people here are familiar with WordPress? Very cool. Okay. Yeah, WordPress is a content management system. Use it to build blogs and websites, right? And I've been working on an interactive fiction engine using Gutenberg. Who here is aware of Gutenberg? Okay, so Gutenberg is the block editor for WordPress. You can use it to create your blog posts now, and it's currently being used, developed to do full site editing. Anyway, So yeah, I'm Artemio. I recently got a job at Automatic. That's the company behind WordPress.com and Tumblr. I myself like making cool electronic literature experiments, and while I've been being onboarded, they give us time to do work on cool things, and I've been working on what I'm about to show you. So excited to be able to do that. So here we'll go into a quick demo. This is on my personal blog, artemiosans.com. Let me go down to here. So I'm going to do a quick run through of this interactive fiction story that I spent absolutely no time on. So the story begins here. We were walking along a path and eventually it came to a crossroads. One path led deeper into the forest, the other towards a town, and the last into a clearing. Do we go deeper into the forest, check out the town, or walk towards the clearing? Someone shout out an answer. Okay, we approach the clearing and find some flowers, by the way. Do we pick the flowers or do we keep moving? Oh, shit. Okay, raise your hand if you want to pick the flowers. Okay, raise your hand if you want to keep moving. Okay, I think that was pick the flowers. Okay. You pick the flowers, cut yourself on the thorn, and feel yourself drifting into a euphoric sleep. Okay, from the top. What do we want to do? I heard more forest. Okay. You keep walking, and it continues getting darker. You get the sense that maybe you should turn back. Do you keep going? Okay, we'll do both. So you keep going. Eventually, you find a nice spot to settle down for the night. You lie down and close your eyes. Sweet dreams. Yay. And then if you turn back, you turn around and find yourself face to face with a bear. Uh-oh. Yeah, and so that was built entirely using WordPress, and I'll show you the back end of it right now. Okay, so if we're going to go into the post here. Yeah, so this is the Gutenberg editor. This is what you use standard to make a blog post in WordPress now. And what I've done is created a thing called a choice block. And so what this allows you to do is to configure options on the side, you know. So there I'm editing an option. Here I'll add a choice. Fourth option. Yeah, and you see it got populated down there. It works in the editor the same way it does on the front end. So you can see what you're working on. You can also turn on this debug view. See if it worked. Yeah, it's an MVP, so it's a little finicky. Debug view is on. And so you can see all the blocks there that are hidden. You can turn the debug view off. Is it off? Okay, yeah, it is off. All right. And so we're going to click the... So this choice is hidden right now. Where'd it go? I don't think I added it, actually. Okay, so we're going to add a new choice block. And we're going to configure it to use this element ID. So every element when you add a choice block can take an ID. And you can configure the functionality there. So this block, we're going to say more content. And we are going to set the root as the parent as the root and the condition as 3. And so now you saw that this option has been configured, right? And so basically you just kind of string all your choice blocks together and you can create an interactive story. And that is the very beginning of the Gutenberg interactive fiction engine. So with that being said, Automatic, they're the parent company. I mentioned that WordPress.com and Tumblr currently hiring, so you can check them out if you're interested in that. And As for me, love to stay in touch and to talk more about this, potentially develop it further. You can find me at Artemio Sands on Twitter and Instagram, or artemiosands.com. And on my most recent tweet, you'll see that I have a little video here of it. And also you can find all of the code and you can find all of the code and a WordPress plugin in that thread, or at artemiosands.com on the most recent blog post with more information on how to use it and all. And so that's all I have. Thank you. Any questions or anything like that? Should we do questions or should we move on, Todd? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Artemio. Coming up next on the Open Projector, we have someone who I can only describe as Maury. M-O-R-R. Maury, are you here? Yes, all right. Give it up for Maury.
Hello, this is the first time this project has made it off of my desk. We will see if it plays nice. I don't have a laptop. It's a Raspberry Pi with a bunch of annoying inputs. But that's an outlet, we'll be fine. What do you need plugged in? Oh, I got it, don't worry. All right, so I have a keyboard. I have chords. You might think I only need one screen, but in fact, I have two. I don't know which way they're oriented. It might be upside down for the first time. Bear with me. That's way too close. While I'm setting this up, allow me to preface this project a little bit. I have a TikTok account that does fairly well. And what's interesting about TikTok is that they give you a very cool piece of data about each of your videos, which is how long each one of those videos has been viewed cumulatively, right? So if I make a video and it's a minute long and everybody watches 100%, imagine that world. Everybody watches 100% of the video, and I have 14,400 viewers. That's 14,400 minutes. That's a full day. It'll say it's been viewed for a day. Now, the annoying thing about TikTok, I'm sorry I'm setting this Raspberry Pi up as this entire thing is going on. And this is, I wish you could see the mess of soldering that is not soldered in, because the GPIO pins, which I don't know what that acronym stands for, switch every time I turn this thing on. But TikTok doesn't like to give you that information in any kind of easily accessible form, right? That would be wonderful, but they don't. What's interesting, however, about that is that you can still access that information on your analytics page on the desktop, right? And because you can access it on your desktop browser, that also necessarily means that you can access the network request that your browser is making to TikTok. Why is that important? Well, that means that you can copy that request to that specific API, copy your cookies, and from there, this is falling apart. From there, can you just hold those two things? They used to be held together by literal tape. I think it's this. I think that's it. There we go. Thank you. Oh, right. There. Where's the HDMI thing? It's down here. Thank you for bearing with me. Here it is. Here it is. Perfect. There is absolutely no security on this Raspberry Pi. All of the inputs are default. Please do not hack me. Okay, cool. So we have it starting. It should be plugged. It should show up at some point. Oh yeah, see, there we go. Source HDMI, no signal. Great. Yeah, dude, the lights are on. It's a fair point. Uh, uh. There we go. That's something. The HDMI moved. We got some signal. We'll see if it turns on.
Take your beer off the table.
Thank you. All right, cool. So where was I? Right, the fact that you can see a very specific piece of information, which is cumulative time viewed on. Sorry, I'm manipulating this small. Yeah, you can see this is going great. Bear with me. Again, one day I'll post like the behind the scenes of this entire thing, but for now, what we need to do is we need to. There we go. All right, so Raspberry Pi login, great. This is the important part. So what's interesting about that is that RASPBE. It's default. I'm not giving you guys anything. So did it say wrong? Wow. All right, cool. So here now we can finally get to the pièce de résistance, or however they say it. So you can scrape all of your TikTok videos and find out how long each one of your videos has been viewed for, right? And what that means is that you can also find a very interesting piece of information, which is how long have all of your videos been viewed for. And that's interesting because that gives you the opportunity to ask a very specific question, which is, what is longer, the amount of time that I've been viewed by other people or the amount of time that I've been alive? So, this clock is counting down, and it will hit 0 when that point is reached. Every day, this little device scrapes all my videos on TikTok, calculates the difference in the cumulative time my videos have been watched versus the time that I've been alive. And depending on whether or not I've made progress relative to a day, goes up or down. So right now, it's going down very quickly, right? A couple days ago, I had a video that got, 30, 40,000 something views, which is enough to significantly overcome the length of time of a day. But the fact of the matter is, and what's interesting about this project is that this was true a couple days ago, right? I was really making the clock go down on like Tuesday. But if we look at what actually happened today, am I typing this right? No, Noid. If we look what's actually happening today, that's another misspelling. Run clock. No, that's a T. C. It's actually going up, right? Because I haven't done anything of note today. I think I got a total of like maybe a couple 100 minutes of views, and so this is not going up at 1 second per second. It's going up a little bit slower than a day, but it is nonetheless taking me further and further away from that 0 point. Whenever I hit 0, it's theoretically going to turn green, and then instead of making negative progress up, it'll make negative progress down. But yeah, as somebody that makes a lot of content online and is very interested in both the ways that people interact with your content and the idea that someday I might take away from the world all the productivity that I could have possibly given it, I've been working on this for this summer, and it's hopefully gonna be in some kind of actual final form in the next like month or so. So yeah, thank you guys. Excuse me while I disassemble this entire thing.
And always appreciate the narrated setup. Makes things smoother for running the show. Thank you so much, Maury. Very, very cool, very interesting project, and another victory for turning it off and turning it on again. Another tally in that column. Okay, I'm gonna vamp a little. How we doing in the crowd? Are we doing good? Yeah, I like you all. You seem real cool. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to Heather at the door. Give it up for Heather. Thank you for doing door, Heather. And we are about to get started with our next open projector presenter, who is Kyle. Kyle, are you ready? I have a slideshow. And yeah, let's plug it in and see what happens. We have a forest of cablery here.
I just need, I guess, HDMI.
Yeah. Here, if you want to start talking about it, I'll get you set up.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. So I actually wrote this deck in maybe March 2020, just to kill some time, thinking that maybe I would come to a WordHack in the next couple of months. That obviously did not happen. So it's frozen in time from 2020 also. So I hope you don't mind. Now let's find some dongles.
Maury, you didn't steal my dongle, did you?
I didn't steal your dongle.
You sure?
Are you talking about the old USB to HDMI thing?
Yeah.
I think it might have fallen off this thing, but I did not take your dongle.
Okay, I don't actually need audio.
Oh my gosh, it is a jungle back here. I think I have a backup.
Oh, here's an actual. We need the dongle for this, right? Yeah. Cool. Let's do that. I'll plug that in. Damn, this microphone is dented. That's very cool. It's very legit.
It's a functional venue.
It's very legit. Yeah. Okay, where does this go in your computer here?
Right here.
That's a USB-C. Okay, cool. Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm Kyle. Let me just do this real quickly. Fun to be here. I used to love going to this back in the day. It's great to see that it's back in person. Really quickly, we always do a how am I, who am I, or whatever. So I teach linguistics at the Grad Center in CUNY. Some of my students are here. Shout out to all you. Thanks for coming. If you're interested in talk about that stuff, I'm happy to talk about that later. But this is just a fun project. I kind of think of fun things to do for students. Sometimes this came out of that sort of world of thinking of little side projects. So this is an interesting tweet from back in the day. This is Donald Trump here. He says, after having written many best-selling books and somewhat priding myself on my ability to write, it should be noted that the fake news, capitals, constantly likes to pour over my tweets looking for a mistake. I capitalize certain words only for emphasis, not because they should be capitalized. Okay, so that's actually interesting, right? So it's so that's actually kind of an interesting linguistic phenomena, about the sort of what seems to be an idiosyncratic capitalization procedures are actually there's some kind of structure into it. We can model this. So this actually is real. We actually need this for speech technologies and things like that. So user-generated text may have inconsistent capitalization, like a Trump tweet. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, that's much better. Yes. Yes, no problem. Thank you so much. User-generated text may have inconsistent capitalization. Also, the output of machine translation systems and automatic speech recognition systems may have no capitalization at all. If I translate from Japanese, the Japanese doesn't have capitalization, so I can't use the information to make it look like good English. We need to perform what is called case restoration or true casing. And this is a specific case of what's called text normalization, which is something we do to make text look like pronounceable forms so we can use it to do speech recognition or speech synthesis. So this is actually a real problem too, not just a weird study of Trump's tweets or anything like that. Also, there's a fun application here, which is something called style transfer, right? So style transfer is a general idea of using machine learning, combine an image and style and get a new image out of it, right? So this is make the Trump photo look like a Marilyn Monroe photo. This stuff works. It's existed for a while now. We can do this on text too. So Silly example, I love Heineken beer and calamari. Well, you want to capitalize Heineken and perhaps the I in I love. We treat this as like a tagging problem, like part-of-speech tagging if you know anything about that. But our tags are actually the casing pattern. So we say like title case, uppercase, all uppercase. Lowercase, mixed case like McDonald's, LaTeX, Kesha, etc. Also like things we don't care about punctuation or capitalization for, like punctuation. So people actually studied this for years. So I actually built a model based on Trump tweets from back in the day to do this. So this is the fake news media, all capitals, is going crazy uppercase. So I can kind of code it like this. I can train a statistical model to do this sort of thing. And then I can use it, and here's how I actually do it. I use C++ library that I wrote a while ago for fun. All kinds of fancy stuff. It's way over-engineered. Don't do it the way I did it. I was just trying to learn stuff. So this problem has like sparse features. I want to use like nearby words. So there's a lot of possible nearby words. Things like word length as well. It has like dense labels, and it has like a sort of sequential structure. Like the way I capitalize a word might predict how I capitalize the next word. So I use the class I call Perceptronics Sparse Dense Multinomial Sequential Model. Very fun. And I use order 2, so I can look like 2 words back. And I can actually do this now to like take any given text and give it Trump style casing. These were actually generated by Trump casing things here. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. But also like Sissy, Graydon Carter of the failing Vanity Fair magazine, which is almost perfect Trump casing if you ask me. And owner of Bad Food Restaurants has a problem. His Oscar party is no longer capital H hot. Almost perfect. Also, I held this particular example out. I made sure that it was not trained on this, so I can see what it would do again in the future. So thank you so much for the students who we played with this on. We've actually had a lot of fun playing with this, engineering it, making it better. And there's even code online if you want to like play with this kind of casing model. It's just a fun little way to do very simple style transfer. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much, Kyle, and really appreciate that that time capsule of a March 2020 slide deck. Was anyone here on the cursed March 2020 WordHack? That was the literal evening before the lockdown order. It was there was only 10 people, and it was scary. Yeah, what a time. Okay, I have one last presenter on the open projector, who is Jamie, our good friend Jamie Brew. Give it up for Jamie. Yeah. Who is maybe watching on the stream. I tricked you. Jamie's not physically here. He doesn't live in New York anymore. But he sent me some videos to play for you that he's been made using one of our presenters, Sam Levine's Videograph software. So I said I would give him an open projector slot. Jamie has presented a number of times at WordHack in the past. Let's check out MetaRhyme's Videograph. I haven't seen any of these yet. Okay, we got a video loading. This is a really nice time for me to vamp in front of a crowd. You know, just like talk about what's been going on with me. Not too much, just watching a spinning circle. But it's really nice to vamp in front of a crowd. It's something you just like vamping on a Twitch stream doesn't quite have the same like soul-crushing fear, you know, but like that like you're always like pulling a cable away from being safe, whereas there's nothing that can save me here. That's just like really still spinning. I think I maybe should have loaded these ahead of time, or just downloaded them. I was like, haha, I'll just play them right off the internet. Jamie, if you're watching, I will download these videos and hopefully play them later in the show. So yeah, that's a nice stylish backdrop and a great segue into introducing our first featured presenter for tonight, who is a longtime friend of the series and a recurring presenter. Really excited to welcome Sam Levine. Please give it up for Sam Levine.
my computer immediately crashed. So it's a good start. Yeah. What's that? I think it's okay. We'll just give it a second, just to reboot. All right, thanks for bearing with me. Really appreciate it. Yeah. I'm Sam Levine. I'm so happy to be back here in person. It's been a really long time. It's a pleasure. Thank you, Todd, for inviting me and for hosting this event. The best part about WordHack is, of course, Todd emceeing. Usually I talk about web scraping when I do these types of things, but I always do that. So today I was just going to tell you about 2 projects about cops instead. Okay. So in November of 2021, an anonymous source leaked around 600 hours of police aerial surveillance footage to the nonprofit transparency organization Distributed Denial of Secrets. These videos are mostly from police helicopters in Dallas, Texas, and the total collection is about 1.8 terabytes. When I heard about the leak, I, of course, immediately purchased a large external hard drive and got to downloading. And by chance, this was the first video that I looked at. In this footage, a police helicopter is kind of closely following this pro-Palestinian protest as it wanders around Dallas, Texas. And 2 things were, for me, immediately striking about the footage. First, just the level of detail that the camera is able to catch, right? The police helicopters aren't just tracking groups of people, they're able to pretty clearly identify individual faces. And the second striking thing for me about the footage was the interface itself, right? This kind of like sci-fi overlay of street names, borders, parcel numbers, target distances, and so on. It's sort of as if the makers of this camera system have used the fantasy surveillance aesthetics commonly found in cop movies and TV shows as an actual design guide for their real system. They've sort of transformed these cliched ideas we have about surveillance into reality. And one thing that I'll note is missing from these sort of cliched ideas about surveillance is a kind of like real-time facial recognition system, right? But we can kind of imagine that this is an interface that's foreshadowing that. in a way, I was like lucky to stumble upon that protest as kind of my first video, right? In that totality of 600 hours. And this corpus definitely does contain moments where like things happen, right? But the vast majority of it, I would say, is a kind of aimless wandering, a kind of like aimless looking. And nothing really happens. In my work, I frequently try to find ways to reduce and filter vast troves of material. In this case, I started to explore the idea of reducing the footage from that aimless wandering eye, to moments when something catches the eye's attention. And in film, that's of course like a zoom in, right? So I wrote a script that analyzed all 600 hours of the footage and then automatically recut that footage to only include shots where the camera was zooming in. By doing this, I was kind of expecting to discover moments similar to the ones that I saw in that protest footage, right? Moments that showed how the police were targeting particular groups and particular individuals. And instead, what I discovered was that most of the zooming shots were as aimless as the panning shots, right? Most of the time, and this is not always the case, but most of the time they're sort of zooming in on nothing in particular. And as I watched this reduced footage, which is now around 1 hour in total, down from that original 600 hours, and slowly realized that nothing was going to happen as I became increasingly nauseous, which maybe you are too at this point. I kept returning in my mind to this question of the interface itself, right? To how that fictional, fantastical cop movie interface somehow became a reality. The slip between fiction and reality, I think, speaks more broadly to the role of law enforcement itself, to how self-mythologizing police narratives go on to shape the world. Or to put it another way, the footage is a product of the fantasy. It's a product of the fantasy that the role of the police is to protect us from ubiquitous hidden danger. And so the camera is just always searching for danger, right? This, of course, is a fantasy that's generated in no small part by the police themselves. It's a kind of needed fakery to help the police feel okay about what they do, and more importantly, to prod us into accepting the very existence of police. Looking at the police through this lens of coercive fantasy, the question for me becomes, what other fakes, perhaps more desirable fakes, could become real? Okay, so in that vein, I want to share one more project with you. And this is an in-progress piece called the Austin Police Department Recruitment Initiative. Actually, just kidding, it's called the Austin Police Department Decruitment Initiative. And I'll just say like a little preface that this is like a kind of a big tonal shift from the previous footage, so like apologies. Okay, so APD Decruitment is a multi-part public service campaign that aims to prevent potential recruits from joining the Austin Police Department and to convince existing police officers to exit their jobs. And the context here is that I kind of am in like part-time in Austin, Texas, and I have a close collaborator there who lives there permanently, who I worked with this project on, whose name is Andy Flores. So right, in short, like we're trying to get cops in Austin to quit their jobs. Yeah. And I will say this is like a very much, work in progress piece, and it's very much a fake thing that we are trying to turn into a real thing. So here's the progress so far. As with any, good public service campaign, you've got to start with some, motivational posters, right? So we've got a poster for existing cops. It says, "Quit. A whole new, beautiful future awaits you. It's never too late to change." unlimited possibilities, brand new life. Quitting has never been easier. It's time to get a new lease on life. The middle poster, of course, is for people who are thinking about joining the police. And it's kind of like, you know, when you're like quitting smoking or something, it's like a big success just to do nothing, right? If you're like, I'm a hero, I didn't have a cigarette today. It's like, I'm a hero, I didn't become a cop today. And then the last poster is aimed at cops who might want to quit, but it's just not the right time for them. So it has some suggestions, like ignore criminality, play mobile games, which some cops did with Pokemon Go in LA, which is an incredible story you should look up. Read a book, look at the internet, work slow, take some breaks, steal money from your precinct, fall in love. And we also have a promotional video, and I have enough time, so I'm just gonna play the whole promotional video. Oh, I'm not gonna play it because I forgot to see if I had sound. 1 second. Mamma mia. Yeah, we're getting it? Oh my goodness, we're getting it. Okay, we'll try that one more time.
Hello and welcome. We are exceedingly pleased to announce the launch of the Austin Police Department Decruitment Initiative. This is a very special program brought to you by popular demand. Austin is one of the most exciting cities in America, with a wide range of outdoor activities and living amenities that provide for an excellent work-life balance. As our population grows, we have a need for more highly qualified, motivated, and compassionate people to stop becoming and quit being police officers in order to protect our citizens and visitors and to serve our community. The goal of APD decruitment is simple: to prevent people from joining the Austin Police Department and to convince existing members of the APD to quit their jobs. So many of our decruits have gone on to thrive as active, patient, open-hearted members of our city. Not convinced? Here are some testimonials from a few familiar faces.
Hey, Trooper, I hear that you may have a dead-end job. Maybe you should quit. You won't listen to others' advice, but maybe I can give you a little pep talk about quitting your job. Well, if you don't like the job, you're not good at it, but you have other talents, then quit that job and start a new life and make the world a better place. And maybe you'll be happier and allow you to give back to your community. Once again, good luck. Sheriff Joe Arpaio says, given his advice, you don't have to take it, but listen, you make your own decision.
Trooper, greetings from America's Sheriff David Clark. You know, there's some people out there that really care about you, but this is just you and me talking right now. And I want you to keep in mind that as you go through life, life is full of change and life is full of risks. Always embrace change and keep this important point in mind. Do what makes you happy. Not what makes everybody else happy, what makes you happy, because life is short. Don't fear change. Change is good. Change is all about how you handle things. So keep that in mind as you make these decisions. Tough decisions, no doubt about it. But in the end, there's people out there who care about you. And always keep this in mind too. Pray over things. God bless you.
Hey, Trooper, Sheriff Lamb here. I would like to say I'm in Arizona, but I'm not. I'm actually in the Charlotte airport right now. I know that you're in a job that sounds like it's not where you want to be. Henry Ford once said, don't be afraid to give up what's good for what's great. And don't be afraid to share your talents with the world and give us what you got. So, God bless. I hope, I wish you the best of luck. These decisions are never easy, but go for it, man. Be bold, go out, take life on, and let it bring out the best in you, and you bring out the best in the world, and share with us what you got. God bless, Trooper, and I look forward to seeing what you do.
Hi, Trooper. It's Rudy Giuliani. It's often true that people do a job for a period of time. They complete everything they can do with it. Therefore, in that sense, it becomes a dead end. They're not growing anymore. And if you have this great love of giving back and of community, then there are many, many things you can do, both as a job for profit, for salary or profit, or as a charity, if you're capable of doing that, in which you can feel tremendous self-fulfillment. There is nothing that makes you happier than helping other people. Well, God bless you, Trooper. I know you're going to make the right decision. Just take this all into consideration. God bless you, and good luck.
Hey, Trooper. It's me, Officer Nene. I know quitting can be hard, but I also know the rewards that come with finding a job that is worth your time and worth your energy and worth your passion and your talents that you possess. If your love, if your heart, if your passion isn't in what you're doing right now, it's not worth staying in. You can always find a job, especially in this economy. You can find a job that will pay you what you're making. But beyond that, go find yourself something that you know is going to benefit you and make you happy.
Are you currently a member of the Austin Police Department? Quit today. Quitting has never been easier. Experience all that post-police life has in store. APD Decruitment. Together, we can achieve more.
Okay, thank you. So I'll wrap up pretty soon, but I just want to give a brief detour about deepfakes. Almost everyone I kind of showed this video to initially was thinking that we made it using deepfakes, right? That kind of much feared machine learning technique for creating modestly difficult to detect facial overlays, right? And although I would say the media panic over deepfakes has probably already crested, it seems to have successfully generated a consensus around the idea that deepfakes will somehow erode or destroy democracy. This is, of course, part of a larger anxiety around misinformation and disinformation, or as sometimes it's termed misdis, which is a phrase I really like. Reading the kind of avalanche of articles on the danger of fakes, it's never really clear to me why deepfakes are more dangerous than, say, Photoshop, After Effects, or just nonlinear video editing. Nor, more importantly, is it ever clear to me what is even meant by democracy. In the US, at least, the real threat to democracy is demonstrably coming from the government itself, right? The call is coming from inside the House. The threat to democracy comes from the Supreme Court, the Senate, the Electoral College, the police, and all the rest of our institutions that deliberately curtail participatory rule. How could fake videos even come close to harming democracy more than the state itself? In any case, it's usually easy to detect a fake that seems real. We're long accustomed to questioning the reality of the images we see and the stories we hear, and to use social contextual clues to determine what is credible. A discerning eye doesn't see alone. It's a node in a network of other eyes that collectively decide what is to be believed and what is to be ignored. In other words, our vision is never solitary. The harder part, I think, is to detect a real that seems fake. A truly unnerving erosion of reality arises from our lack of willingness to believe the true things that we see with our own eyes, to detect when a joke isn't a joke, when a LARP isn't a LARP, when a draft opinion isn't a draft opinion, and so on. So for the APD decruitment video, we did consider using deepfakes to impersonate Rudy Giuliani and the rest of those people, but we ended up going with a different direction, because why bother with obtuse machine learning algorithms when we have D-list D-list celebrity cops willing to say anything for a few bucks on Cameo.com. Right. So Cameo, as we probably know, you hire B-list or C-list or D-list celebrities to say stuff for you. And this is where we sourced our videos from. And it's interesting, actually, because it sort of operates in a similar way to how one might actually use a deep learning image generation system, right? You supply a carefully worded prompt to generate an outcome. In the case of Cameo, you have a very, very limited character count for your prompt. So this is the one we used. This was for Joe Arpaio. We said that we had a friend named Trooper. That was Andy's brilliant idea, by the way. So we said, my friend is in a dead-end job. He needs to quit. He won't listen to me, but he'll listen to you. We say, give Trooper a pep talk about quitting his job. Tell him to quit his job and start a new life. We also note that he's a talented, bright individual who wants to make the world a better place. We ask, we say, can you tell him quitting will make him happier and truly allow him to give back to his community? And Joe Arpaio really just read the script. Some of the other ones kind of like went on little tangents, But what's nice is when you click that submit button, and the video begins to generate, right? And this is the message you see, And we did in fact get excited. The video is housed on our website, which is apddecruiting.org. And the website also has info about our exciting rewards program. So we're partnering with local businesses to offer discounts for cops who quit. It's very simple. You, if you're a cop, send us proof of resignation, and then we issue you a rewards card that you can show at our businesses, which right now are 4, right? So we've got the Museum of Human Achievement, a wonderful venue and art space in Austin. You get a free admission to a summer drive-in show. The Vortex, a theater. You get free tickets to any Vortex production. Peace Cheese, a vegan cheese shop. And Coco Coquette, a wonderful wig store. Despite our best efforts, as of this date, 0 cops have signed up. The fantasy has yet to become a reality. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Sam Levine. Thank you, Sam. Love those. The real thing is just too much better than any deepfake. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, give people a chance to go to the bathroom, grab a drink. Please support Wonderville for hosting us tonight. Let's give it up for Wonderville for hosting WordHack for tonight. If this is your first time here at Wonderville, Wonderville is a bar and indie arcade it contains the collection that used to be the Death by Audio arcade. If anyone ever went to the Death by Audio music venue, which closed in around 2013, 2014, I think, when Vice bought their building. But they've kept the arcade collection that was at that music venue running, and it was shown at different events. And then Wonderville was opened shortly before the pandemic, and very grateful that they've been able to keep going. All right, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. So find your way back to your seats in 3 minutes.
내리는 호남선 마음의 열차에 흔들리는 차탄 너머로 눈물이 흐르고 내 눈물도 흐르고 잃어버린 첫사랑도 흐르네. 깜빡깜빡이는 힘이 기억 속에 그때 만난 그 사람 말이 없던 그 사람 자꾸만 멀어지는데 만날 순 없어도 잊지는 말아요. 당신을 사랑했어요. 비 내리는 호남선 마지막 열차 기적 소리 슬피 우는데 눈물이 흐르고
I think there is a rush at the bar, so we're going to wait another 2 to 3 minutes. People are trying to get drinks, and I want people to have a chance to support Wonderville. So 3 more minutes. Sorry if that no time has passed since last time I was up here.
기억 속에 그때 만난 그 사람 말이 없던 그 사람 자꾸만 멀어지는데 만날 순 없어도 잊지는 말아요. 당신을 사랑했어요.
All right, everybody, let's find those seats. Find those seats. Find a seat and get sitting. Sitting in the seat. No, you can like have the music going on softly. There's still a lot of people at the bar. I can just like hang out up here and vamp a little bit. Just hang out and have people find those seats. This is just like the find those seats portion of the program where people have seats and they find them. And then or they find that particular arcade cabinet that they would like to lean up against and have be their little zone for the second half of the program. Find those seats. We're gonna get started in 1 minute. I'm gonna just make a quick announcement at the bar. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much to our open projector presenters and to Sam Levine for the first half of our program. Really excited to introduce our next presenters. And we are going to be starting off with someone who I had the great pleasure to co-teach with this summer, a really talented performance artist, programmer, experimental performance designer. Really excited to have here and to welcome Thierry Kananaruk. Please give it up for Thierry.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sam. You really inspired me to join the COP just to be able to quit to be police. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm super honored to be here to present with Sam and Nick and along with you guys. And thank you, Todd, for having me, of course, the best host. Let me... So by the way, I want to make an announcement. Right before this show, I test my code and it's crashed my laptop completely, but I got an extra laptop, which I'm not used to it. Thanks, Seps, to bring the spares, but they have a spare now, so we'll see. Let me see. All right, my name is Thierry Kananaruk. I didn't know it was gonna be 8-year anniversary before I say yes to this, since I know I did a whole new piece just to have a good time with all of you, right? Since this is like the first time to be able to be back in person and like since pandemic, right? So I wanna make some beat with you guys. And yes, please join me. I need some helps from you. And the instruction is simple. It starts with I will say some words and you can repeat after me, right? Or sometimes I might ask some question. You just answer the question, whatever you like. But let's start by practicing it. Okay? Can we practice? All right. Okay, I'm gonna say A. Oh, A. Yes. The what? It's too loud. Uh-oh. It's really loud. It's powerful. It's crashing. Thank you. Did we get it back? All right, we got it back. All right, let's try the next one. What day is today? Um, that's great. That's great. You can do that. Yes, whatever you like, you can answer however you like. Okay, that sounds amazing. Thank you. All right, it seems not so hard, right? It's okay for everybody. It seems fun. Before going more further than this, we also have some online audience. I don't know where the camera is. I assume it's always the work out there. Hi. So we want to connect everybody together, and I want to connect you guys with them too. So, does everyone have phone with you? Yeah. Yes. Okay. And for online people, it might be better for you to join with the laptop. All right. So here's the instruction. Whoops. Okay. So first is grab your phone and turn the volume up. I think you can be on the silent mode, but like just turn it up, and then open. Okay, I've been testing this in a really short time, and some people phone didn't work, especially if you have a like old model or different OS, also Android. So we found out that it works best in Chrome, and my phone, which is like really old iPhone, works best in Safari. So it might not work with everybody, just in case. But if that happened to you, I would recommend you to find your neighbor who has the phone that works with this code, make friend with them, and be like, hey, can I join your interaction? So you can use their phone together, right? So, and another thing, really important, when I test this, I tested it multiple times, but I tested maximum with 8 people. So, and both time I test is crash. So I mean I fixed the bug before I came here and it's not crash. But so if it look like it's gonna crash, so if you can drop down, like maybe you can join a log with your neighbor. Again, it would be nice to know somebody's, like nice to meet with people in this group. Oh yeah, who has it? Who has it work? And this is the link. Go to, yes. Sorry, I might blocking my URL. So if you type it, it's really important to do HTTPS. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. But if you can also scan the barcode. It works. I'm gonna try mine too. All right. Again, so I guess everybody kind of know if you're able to join or not able to join. So right now, if you could please refresh it one more time, and not press it yet. Not press it yet. Yeah. I'm gonna quit my slide. I'm gonna go to. Not yet. Not yet. Don't press it yet. Yeah. Refresh it. Refresh it. All right. Oops, somebody joined. Somebody still joined. Let me refresh one more time. I'm gonna just put it up there. And if you are at home, please don't go to this URL yet. It's gonna crash my about. Okay. All right.
Oh.
All right. Are you ready to make the beat together?
Be ready to
Okay.
demand.
Okay. Let's start.
Be
Hi.
ready to go.
Hi. Forgot to tell you to press it. Now you can press it.
Yes.
You should see the color. All right. I just do mine. All right, that was great. Thank you. All right. It's a little scary for me. It's like, but it doesn't crash yet, right? All right. Let's do the next one. Hey. 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 Sounds amazing, guys. How about beat? Beat. 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 Beat.
Beat.
Beat. Oh, we made something. We made progress. Beat. 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 Turn off. Beat. Hello. What's up? Beat. Hi. Beat. Hi, mom. Beat. Hey, Safari. Beat. Hi, mom. Yay. How's life? Good. Oh God. Still not crash. Good. Not crash. Good. Not crash. Good. How's life? Good. Not crash. Good. How did you get here today? Bus. To the bus. J train. Hey. And then why walk? Henry, too small.
Nissan Pack 11, Nissan
Drop it like it's
turn. Thanks for right
hot, 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 hot. Drop it like it's hot. Cat, cold, cold, heat, cold. Cat, heat, stop it. Cat, stop. Math class. Couldn't read anymore. Okay, the last one. The last one. Okay, one more time.
I am a horse. Huh, no, hey, man, even I am a goddamn dog sleep. Horse. Man, goddamn big. Sleep. Horse. Dog sleep. I will send a text send a text with Jill horse. Cat's late my test channel. What's the play? What's the what is this? What is this? What is the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather? What is the weather? What is the weather like today? Like it's a bureaucratic. What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather? What's the weather? What is the? What's the weather? What is Siri? Hurry. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What's the weather? What's the Siri? Do I? What is happening? You do. Navigate. 4.1. Spaghetti. Navigate. Spaghetti. Navigate to spaghetti. Navigate. Spaghetti.
Well, thank you so much. That was close to my nerve that it's gonna crash, but it's not crashed. Thank you. Well, so this is a song for WordHack's 8th-year anniversary. So thank you for joining me. Thank you, the online people. I'm gonna go back and talk a little bit about what you just seen, the chaos thing, in a second. All right, cool. I'm Thierry Kananurak. I am a performer and educator. I work with text and sound, and what you just participate with me is called Deep Chorus. This is kind of like I did similar project that have this root of research. Actually start at WordHacks maybe like 2018, and then this is kind of like the same research that I take more direction on it. And I'm not a musician, as you may clearly see. I self-taught, but I like the idea of improvisation, and I want to kind of explore on that. And what you just experienced is word to phoneme. So human has the best built-in instrument, which is voice, right? Your voice can do so many sound. If you take a look closely at it, you will be surprised how much sound you can make, and how many sound you can enunciate, right? And most common thing that we do all the time is speaking, saying words, and it's amazing how much you can make a different enunciation by just using like the way of like moving your mouth or throat or tongue, and especially if there's a different language, right? Like you have the different way of pronounce some different sound, and English is my second language, right? When I moved here, people don't understand me, and one of my good friends is the one, his name is Pilukop. He told me that, you know why people don't understand you? Because you don't have an end sound. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you mean. And he's like, you don't enunciation the end sound, because Thai doesn't have it. And I was like, oh. And after that, okay, he told me, can you say word end? And I say, end. So I don't have d, like end. And from there, I was like, oh, from not notice, like small notice, I can hear every single enunciation of the word when people saying, and that kind of like inspired me to like drive more to the small sound and phoneme and micro sound, which is also something that I'm interested of, like small sound, field record, or binaural. Even it's a small sound, but it had so much texture that it's nuanced, right? And then I also have, so this is a direction that I want to take on. This is the call and respond in music. It has a root from African music and come from like war chants and spiritual. Because somebody still, I think it's me, right? I was like the whole time somebody was like repeating me. Wait, sorry. It works? Should I turn it down? Should I keep it? I keep it. Okay. And then like it comes from that, like spiritual, and go to the music like jazz music, blue, gospel, and pops, R&Bs, right? And it's amazing how a musician can pick up such a nuanced thing, like pitch changing, tempo change, or rhythm change in a like split second. And I would like to use this technique to apply to another different performance and kind of apply to improvise or take the direction of improvise, right? And then call and respond in human conversations. So, for example, I asked you, how are you? You answer. So it's kind of like a regular things that we do almost every day. But it also could be a life death improvisation answer, right? Like sometimes you have to kind of improvise the answer to make your life survive. Or something that you try to scare something that you scare, or like try to, like you heard when somebody hammer your hand. It's like an automatic call and respond from your body to save your life, because we born as an improviser to survive and to thrive. And then it comes to computer chorus, right? I've been working with the computer respond and feedback loops generate mistake, because I think that there's a character of computer that's different than us. Okay, it might not be nuanced, or it might actually not really understand the word or language as human understand. It might just like remember like the algorithm do this or by command to just like respond. But it has some ability that I don't have, which is have a big memory or have a fast like processing, or even connect from the far, right? Connect from people who join from online. And I wasn't. I wasn't. So the computer doesn't train to listen to Thai accent. So sometimes it misunderstood, like hearing. And I also take a while to think about the word when I'm speaking, because I'm not like, it's not the first language. And the computer has a surveillance, right? Like, so it's not like trying to open the mic all the time. It's like waiting for you to talk and then hope that you're gonna say something and then you not talk and then it's shut down. So it's it's coming with the mishearing and misunderstood, and it creates something that unexpected for me to improvise or add on more direction that I didn't take on, right? Like it's something else, not like our conversation is something else that been mistaken, generated. I also want to talk a little bit about what you just saw, what you just experienced, how much I control, and so by analog, I'm just like asking you to do something, and but on the computational side, I'm controlling the fast, the slow, which you might not really hear it because so many people join. But I also can control when the word will show up and when it's solo, which is also been put in a random in the computer. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I kind of time when it's gonna show up, right? And you input the words, like some answer or some voice that I didn't expect it to have it to, and how many people who join, like quantity, of course, affect my rhythm. And also if you drop down in between, right? And the computer is, of course, like show the confidence when it heard it. It's like it must be this word, and then it's random. But also, this one thing that is really affect this algorithm is how much it's controlled by the network, right? How it, why. So the call and response in this case sometimes right away. Most of the time is delay, right? So delay sometimes in the music effect could be cool, but when it's uncontrollable delay or like you not knowing how it's gonna come, it's kind of tricky. And then call and respond becomes sometimes synchronized, sometimes counterpoint, which is something I'm looking for, sometimes random. So this is what I have been exploring and to the something that I can control and I cannot control, and looking for this looking for this call to improvise and find the way to respond it. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Sebastian Morales, who saved my life and helped me develop this. And thank you, Todd Anderson, that when he texted me, when he emailed me, I was like, what should I do? And he's like, anything. I'm like, anything? Like, anything? And he's probably not gonna do that again. And thank you for my friend who helped me testing all this code. And of course you, thank you so much for helping me making the beat for 8-year WordHacks. Thank you. I'll put this in my website. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Terry. And yeah, that's really true. I really love to think of WordHack as a place where, like, within bounds, anything can happen. And like, I often describe it to people as like, oh, it's like a talk series, but like, it's not always a talk. Sometimes people will do like a thing, like maybe it's like an experimental thing or a participatory thing or a performance thing. And I love that Terry always brings something surprising and unique, and that was so much fun. I had this really special experience where like my computer yelled my brother's name at me and then crashed while I was like, just like I'd heard someone say my brother's name, and then I was like, that's when my web browser had had enough. So that was a very special experience here. We have one more presenter for you who I'm going to introduce in a second, but I'm going to follow up on my open projector duties. I have some videos that have been downloaded and that I would like to play for you. And I am going to plug in this cable without letting go of the microphone. So this is end-to-end emceeing that you get here. It's just so much fun to be on stage with all of you. Man, what a great crowd. I'm so happy you're all here. This is a really, really special space. Let's give it up for you all. It's just really nice to be in here with this group of people. There's me talking to the Twitch chat. Let's see what Mark has to say.
Mixed reality. Get even better with mixed reality. Reality, whether that's in virtual reality, with mixed reality.
Meetings virtually is mixed reality.
This is a big step forward. Better choose in the music moment. You want it. You better never
Flip, go.
You only
Get
one shot at you.
Not this.
Your chance too. So this opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You will better choose the music. The
moment
you want. It better never
Flip,
it.
go. Only
Get one shot at you. Not this yet. Chance too.
go.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Definitely. Another big part of Quest Pro is how much more expressive you can be.
This is great to see for creators, developers, and brands, and also work a bit more like extensions of your hands. Yeah, I mean, the feeling of presence that you get.
Attribution.
That looks awesome. I'm pumped for the next title, though. For anyone who wants to build out their virtual office on Quest Pro, the people always thought that this was where technology should go. Be like this third mode, better camera off mode. That's far from the only thing it's going to enable. Using everything Quest Pro brings to the table. And now, Accenture's chair and CEO, Julie Sweet.
There is an end. 140 feet.
Reviews yourself in the music that moment you own it. You better never
Flip,
it go.
You only get
One
shot.
do not this your chance to
So
this opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better news yourself in the music the you own. Do better never
Flip, go.
you only get
One shot.
do not
This
your chance to pro this opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Oh yeah. We got a world premiere on our hands. Let's give it up for Jamie Brew. I believe you can follow him on Twitter at. No, that's a different guy. This is a different dude. This is a student pastor, a realtor, and a Christian, and a guitarist. Follow this guy too. No, this is a different guy. This is also a different guy. Oh, man, Jamie, you gotta get a better Twitter handle. Fuck. No, Jamie Brewer. Oh, man, that video was so good. Jamie A. Brew. Okay, here he is. Jamie A. Brew. Botnick Studios, longtime WordHack contributor. Couldn't be here tonight, but sent those videos for us. God, he's so funny. So thank you for sending those, Jamie. Hope you're able to, if not live, see this video at some point. Damn, what a video. We have one final presenter for you, and I'm really excited to have this person with us. They're at the, I think it was the 6th WordHack ever, back in January of 2015, I think. Really excited to welcome back computational poet Nick Montfort. Nick's been with the series for a long time. And yeah, just the thing I really love is he's been featured as a presenter multiple times, but will also still regularly come by the series, share something new on the open projector. Man, and I just realized this is like the longest I've gone without seeing Nick since like 2014. So really excited to have him back. Please give a warm welcome to Nick Montfort. Pulling out the cable. I call it the cable.
I don't need a sound, and I can just take the HDMI. I don't need the dongle either.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Wow. How amazing to be here at WordHack. It's like we escaped the Matrix and we're partying in Zion. Except instead of gruel, when you turn the spigot, you get frozen margarita and painkiller over here at Wonderville. What do you think about that, Mr. Anderson? Thank you so much, Todd, for 8 years of WordHack. Thank you for having me at this event. I'm going to lower everyone's heart rate by presenting things that are much simpler, probably less interesting, don't have color, focused on the minimal. And I'm going to start off with some selections from a manuscript I recently completed that has 60 poems in it. Thank you, thank you. It's called Minims, and the poems are in 10 different sections. So I'm just going to show you the 2 sections that are the most sort of word hacky, that are most related to digital culture. A fifth of the book, and in some cases I might read something aloud. In some cases, some of them are actually very, very tiny executable computer programs, so I might run them. And here's the first section that I'm going to show you. It's the second section in the book, Cybernation. So some of these are purely visual, so you will simply apprehend them that way, and I will look at you from up here as you do that. Some of them I might read aloud, or if they have a title, I might read that title. Digital one, dig it alone. gigs of music. You can imagine your own pronunciation for that if you like. Go ahead and scan it if you want to. It is actually a real QR code, but phones are unlikely to be able to pick it up. The complete works, and this says, any sequence of 0 or more listed elements. So this is based on pretty much contemporaneously published poems by B.P. Nicol and Aram Saroyan, but they wanted to put letters and spaces and stuff like that together. So this is a much more efficient way to do it. All right, and so this is the second section of the book that I'm going to show you. Section 4, executables and outputs. And in this section, the first 4 poems are actual executable code. And then the last 2 are poems that I found by writing computer programs. No comment. I think we should, let's go ahead and run this one. So we make sure. We want to make sure it's really, actually, we don't even know what language we should use, because we could use various languages. Let's just be perverse and use Perl. Yeah, there it is. Works just fine. Okay, all right. So now let's go on to the next one. Basic quine. Okay. If you don't know what a quine is, please turn to the person next to you and ask what a quine. No, I'll tell you. A quine is a program that prints itself as output, which doesn't really have any practical use. It's just a thing that people like to think about and work on and implement. Oh, someone did think of a use for it. Hold on. What is it? Oh, no. Okay, sorry. I was going to say, is it actually useful to write a quine? Maybe. But this is a quine. Yeah, hold on. What happened here? Whoa. Am I typing too fast? That could be it. Let's start this over. Okay. Even in emulation, the Commodore 64 gets me very excited. What is going on here? Oh no. I tried this out earlier. Okay. Well, those of you who have Commodore 64 emulators running in your mind will be able to enjoy this being a quine, and otherwise we'll have to figure out later on hardware or in emulation. But the ones that I can run, I will run. So here's another basic program which works on the Commodore 64, also in AppleSoft Basic. This one is Basic Roulette. 10, if rand 1 is less than 1/6, then new. These do actually work. The previous one produces itself as output, and this 1/6 of the time erases itself. Perl Forever. Okay, we should be able to run this one. Let's do this. Okay, let's see here. All right. All right. There we go. I think that's working. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's of course. There it is, 100% CPU for Perl. It's always it's a little. You know how sometimes like you're doing a presentation and you like it's like oh accidentally I got my email opened and everyone sees this embarrassing stuff that like whatever I've been trying to buy on eBay or things like this. It's a little bit like that, when I run top. It's like, what? It's like, are you really running a finger server? Like, or what? What types of things? What types of processes are going on your computer, right? But anyway, just to show you that Perl is actually running. There it is. Okay, that's enough of a forever for us. And I'll just show you these last two from minims that are not executable themselves, but they are the result of my very, very simple search using very simple computer programs and word lists. I like them though. A raw crawl scrawls. Which is, in fact, I was actually doing a raw crawl using this computer program, and it scrawled this for me. So I like that. I lie alien. Salient. So that's the end of the minims, and I'm going to move on to show you another sort of tiny piece. So I have a set of, ultimately there are 21 very small scale programs. They're web pages. They're full web pages that use JavaScript and CSS, but they are standalone web pages that are about that big. These are called process pages. And so what I'm interested in looking at here are how the different platforms, maybe the Commodore 64, maybe the Apple II, but maybe contemporary platforms like the web browser, which support computation, how they can influence us, how they can afford certain possibilities, how they can encourage certain types of creative work, and maybe discourage other things, right? So what can the web browser do if we just use a very, very, very tiny amount of web page? What if we reduce that web page to almost nothing? We're not going to have images and sound files, right? We're going to be able to use Unicode. We're going to be able to use text, which is one of the things the web is made to provide. We're going to be able to style certain things. I don't even change the colors in the process pages here. And I don't really rely, this actually has an emoji in it sort of by accident because it happens to occur in this character range, but I really don't use emoji in the process pages either. So I'm interested in investigating writing systems, language, as it's made itself into modern day computation. And I'm going to show you one-third of process pages, because process pages is a 3-channel work for projection. It's not a video work. It's running live on all 3 channels when it's projected. So I'll show you what this looks like. And I'll tell you a little bit about each of these 7. We're looking at 1/3 of these. starting with Mesh, but I'll let you take a look at it yourself first, and after we see Mesh running, I'll make a few brief comments. So Mesh is dedicated to Agnes Martin. So there's a small number of things that one can do with very, very tiny web pages. And one is present like what is not really a grid, but a long line of text that if you put in a zero width space will wrap itself to fill the browser. And if you're using characters that are all the same width, then it will form a grid-like arrangement on its own without your having to specify that this font needs to be in monospace. Now, we see something different and much messier that's going to come up with Grimoire. And you may have seen something like this if you sent the wrong type of file to the printer. But it's making its own type of invented language in a certain way out of characters in a range that are sort of extended ASCII. It's not adhering to the grid in that case. It's letting the proportionality of the characters do their thing. So ... is the Braille alphabet. It has its as its basis and uses one of the other sort of basic things, essential things that you can do, showing characters very large. A haptic alphabet, not meant to be seen, but its effect is, what Marcel Duchamp would deride as retinal, right? It has the after image that's being presented. And this one is a little longer, although not that long. It's still pretty short. It's still a pretty short web page here. So AlphaBall gives you the alphabet using enclosed alphanumerics. These are all just Unicode characters, but also has a physics model in it. The about to run display of the current time here is meant to indicate that This is not a recording. What you're seeing is actually running live. And so WEFS, along the lines of Mesh, presents this grid, but by selecting these different characters and changing the pace at which things are displayed, the effect is very different. And instead of a vibrating grid, we have something that, from my perspective, the reason I gave it this title, is reminiscent of weaving. And then we'll see something else that also is grid-like, but I think is different than either of those, and among other things originates from a Commodore 64 sort of recreational program when we look at Una Selva Oscura here. So Una Selva Oscura, comes from the first tercet of Dante's Inferno, where the right road lost, Dante finds himself in a dark forest. And this maze, this confusion is, I hope, connected to that. But it is also the pace at which this changes is the walking pace of a middle-aged man, which just incidentally happens to be represented as a change every 666 milliseconds. And these are undeciphered symbols, which nevertheless find their way into Unicode, interestingly enough, and into the Symbola font that is a fallback here in my browser. I don't specify the font. From the Pythos disk, we don't know if it's a writing system or something else, but nevertheless, we find it there. So this is one of 7 channels, one of 3 channels, each of which has 7 different pieces. And so it's a 3-channel installation that has this type of live computation. And the framework for it is a little bit indebted to like a demo scene compos in a certain way, where you see what the name of the piece is, you have it running live, and then afterwards you see what it was again. You could vote on these if you want to, but I'm not going to be, receiving a prize or being named the loser or anything like that. But among other things, this work is going to go on to like 3 single board computers and be installed at a festival for free and open source software art, Pixel, which is happening next month in Norway. So that's one manifestation of process pages, and hopefully there'll be a book also of some form that will come out of this project. I've got one more thing to close out my portion of the evening. When I heard that victory cry, I was remembering when Todd was at the very, very beginning of the evening. Todd said, "If this is your first WordHack," and I was waiting for him to say, "You have to fight," right? But which actually, if this is the first time you've been to Wonderville, you should fight in the sense of playing some of these games, meeting some people you don't know, making friends via pretend confrontation. This is actually a very welcoming context in which to meet people and enjoy these artifacts and the challenges that they pose. So I'm going to close out by reading from, startlingly enough, startling enough, I'm going to read from a booklet. This, by the way, what I had a piece called Pulsar, which is one of the other process pages that I showed you earlier, and this one is called Which Way. And I'm just going to close out by reading one page from, actually I'll read one page and I'll read the very, very end, the last phrase from my book, my booklet, All Singing. So All Singing is a booklet that was generated by the 256 characters of Perl, which are presented at the beginning. The program is offered to the public domain. And when you run it, well, when I ran it this particular time, you'll hear some of what I got, and you'll get something like it. And it might have a relationship to, I don't know, the beginning of the universe, or Lucretius de Rerum Natura. A swerve
What, I don't know. We can see. Hey Zach Whalen. Hey Enter Vital. Hey Simeste. Hey Kip Buckley. We've had some people tuning in on the Twitch chat here as I'm awkwardly paused on this advertisement. We want to continue to stream it and continue to have in-person events. So stay tuned for future dates. I don't have anything to say right now about date of next show and where that is, but stay tuned on the WordHack email list. If you're not on that already, should be a link in the event page where you can get on that. And also, this is a gathering of, I'm seeing a lot of faces I haven't seen in a while. If you've presented at WordHack in the past or been connected to the series and are maybe interested in sharing something in the future, come find me. Come send me an email. Would love to reconnect with some of you and bring you back in and have you at a future event. One last thing I wanted to share, which was a big moment for me. I have got the Electronic Literature Collection, Volume 4. And so a big part of what started me to having WordHack in the first place was kind of like, I think I got an email when I was in college in 2010, 2011, when I was just starting to, when I was writing poetry and just starting to experiment with technology, and ended up looking at Electronic Literature Collection Volume 2, and ended up getting on a deep rabbit hole of watching Young Hae Chang Heavy Industries videos. Do we have any Young Hae Chang fans in the house? Yeah, cool. That's kind of what got me into this whole scene, and just like checking out all the different things that were in this electronic literature collection, all the different things people were doing. And I was studying poetry at the time, and we were just like reading a lot of like old books and stuff that exists on pages, and that really opened my eyes some. And just this past summer, I had one of my pieces accepted into Electronic Literature Collection 4. So that was a big kind of full circle for me, and I thought I'd maybe play it for you to close out the night, because I can't resist being in front. I love being an MC, but I also love performing. Let's get Todd Anderson to the stage. Let's begin. Oh, and before I start playing, I wanna shout out composer of the piece, Christopher Libertino, really amazing film composer who made all the sounds you're gonna hear. Let's play it. We got some instruction. Oh, a video, huh? Yeah, let's access the video. Now let's go to the website. Here. Thanks so much, everybody. Love y'all. Really means so much to be here with you all. Real part of me doesn't make sense unless I'm doing this. So thank you all for being here. Thanks so much. Thanks so much to Wonderville. Thanks to Carl, our sound guy. Thanks to Heather at the door. Thanks to Mark for having us. Go get some drinks and tip your bartenders. Let's have a good night.